today we are going to be doing a full first round mock draft, trying to break down some of these picks, no trades, but yep, let's get into it and starting off with the Giants. Let's see, I doubt they'll have the number one pick. This one's pretty simple for me. We need a wide receiver, need to take a wide receiver, need to get Dart some more weapons. Obviously, cornerback outside of wide receiver. I think they need corner even more than wide receiver, but, there's just no corner you're taking this high. I think, obviously, you have two wide receivers. Let's go to wide receivers. And I think either or is okay. You got Jordan Tyson, who has an 83 PFF grade. He's been hurt a lot this year. Cardinal Tate with a 90, who's had a great season. Check Jordan Tyson real quick one more time. Yeah, see, he's been hurt a lot throughout his career. Great receiver. Looks really good on the film. Kai Lemon's also really good. Not worth this high of a pick. But for right here at the Giants, I think the best fit for them would probably be Cardinal Tate. I think having a deep threat would be awesome to pair with Neighbors, and that's who I think I'm going to go with. Okay, Raiders at number 2. This, again, is pretty obvious. This is going to be a quarterback. Heisman winner Fernando Mendoza, 90.5 PFF grade. Obviously, not a lot of yards in his college career. Not sure how he's going to perform in the NFL, if he's going to be like a high yardage guy. I don't think he is, since he wasn't in college, but you go in, you'll have Genty to run the ball with and have Brock to lean back on. Hopefully, maybe they can get a wide receiver later in the draft in the second. But that's pretty easily the Heisman winner for me at 2. Browns. Okay, now this is between two positions for me. We're not thinking about quarterback right now. This team needs a whole lot. It's tackle or wide receiver. And in my eyes, I don't think that there's a tackle in this class that's worth this high of a pick. Now, if it was Spencer Fennell, and Francis Mauigoa is really, I've heard, is probably one of the most sought-after ones this draft. I think he's going to be really good. Spencer Fennell. I think both of these guys are going to be good. But are they worth this pick? Absolutely not. So, realistically, obviously, this could be a trade back come draft day. And if it was draft day and this was the lineup, the Giants would have also traded back. But it's pretty easily Jordan Tyson for me. I don't know what quarterback it's going to be next year, but hey, go get your weapon. Jets, this is a match made in heaven if he declares. We're waiting on him to declare still in the playoffs. Don't think he's going to go back. We'll see. But Dante Moore, great deep ball passer. Really good build for quarterback. I really like Dante. I think he's going to fit what they're doing good. He's going to go in with Garrett. They also have a ton of other picks after trading Sauce and Quinnen. They really need to focus, though, on using all of those picks. Not all of them, but most of them to really try to make – they've struggled immensely with quarterbacks in the past. They have to get – a really good O-line and really good weapon. I don't think the defense is as important right now as it is getting some guys around Dante Moore to really develop him. Got Garrett. I really would love to see them get another receiver or something. Titans, with the wide receivers off, I think that hurts a lot. I don't think Mekhi Lemon's worth this pick. Defense is really bad. This is either edge or line. I see a lot of people taking Ruben Bain, but in my eyes, I think Arvell Reese, he has what it takes. This guy is probably the highest upside player in the draft. Is he the best coming out of the draft? Absolutely not. This guy is a project. I think that he's worth the swing. He can play all over the place, even though he's really not great in coverage at linebacker. I think he'll probably play edge. So we're going to go Arvell Reese here. Kyler is probably done there. We don't have a Q. I could see Malik Willis coming in next year for them. I think that would actually be pretty good for him. this team needs a O-line. They need O-line really bad. So this is going to obviously be tackled. Now, which one, depends on a lot. Obviously, I'm going to go Fano right now, but I do think that Malagoa could go before Fano. We will see about that. Commanders. Now, this one, to me, is pretty obvious. Edge rushers are not very good on the Commanders right now. You got one of the highest, 92 PFF grade is crazy. The only big thing about Ruben Bain is he has, T-Rex arms. I don't care. You can say what you want, but they're really short. Could be really bad in the NFL with that. You just never know. Could stick him in at D-tackle sometimes, interior, but I think this is the best fit for the Commanders right here is Ruben Bain. That's who we're going to take. New Orleans Saints. Now, this one has got me a little confused. Cameron Jordan on his way out. You have Chase Young. Obviously you would love maybe to get an edge rusher. Demario Davis said now. You would love to get a linebacker. Always could get Mekhi Lemon to pair with Chris Olave as well to try to help Tyler Shuck. But I think as a Saints team, you got to go PPA right now. You're in the middle of a rebuild. I think that you could really do a lot this offseason, especially if those two guys retire. If Cam Jordan and Demario Davis retire, that gives them $30 million in cap. I think that would help this team a lot. Honestly, I hate to say that. I just don't see them helping them out in the future at all. Obviously, they're really old. I think Caleb Downs is the pick. You have to go BPA here. Now, that hurts for Cincinnati. That's who Cincinnati probably wants. Joe Burrow's staying. People can say what they want. He's going to be the Bengals quarterback for a very long time with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. But, obviously, this is going to be defense. They need an interior D-line. I think I'm going to go Peter Woods. He gives you a ton of upside. Pretty good at rushing the passer. Pretty explosive there. Has really good block sheds. David Bailey would be my number one if they didn't draft Shamar Stewart next year. But we're going to take Peter Woods here. The Dolphins. This one's pretty easy for me as well. Could use O-line here. But this is very obviously going to be corner. And I hope Miami fans are okay with that because their corner room is very, very mediocre. I think they're going to lose Minka in the secondary next year at safety as well. Rasul Douglas is really old. I think he's also a free agent. Got to bring in somebody. I think Jermon McCoy is better than Mansour Delane. But coming off the ACL tear, it's just too scary. I think you have to play as conservative. I'm going to go with Mansour Delane here for Dolphins. I think he's going to be a really solid corner. I don't think he's going to be, ever one of the best corners in the league, but he is a one. He's going to be really good for you. The Rams get pretty tricky here. A lot of stuff could be happening. They have 2 firsts. This is the Falcons' first right here that they got from them. Now, you need a corner. You do need a tackle, and you do need a – that is perfect. PFF hit it on the money. I'm not going to lie. I think that Ty Simpson is worth the shot here for them. I think he could be really good with McVay, and if Stafford plays one more year, sitting behind him would be great. You get your guy of the future. Don't have to worry, and this isn't even your actual first-round pick. You're not, if you miss on Ty Simpson, it doesn't hurt as much because, hey, you got a first-round pick. You never thought you were going to have basically a top 10 pick trading back last year. That's insane. You're already one of the best teams. You can take a shot here. You need to build for the future. Stafford is almost done. We're going to go Devontae Adams is probably going to retire with him. Let's build for the future and not for right now. Let's try to keep this team together for the long run, and we're going to go Ty Simpson. Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know what Kelsey's going to do. Not sure when Mahomes is going to be back next year. But the number one thing about the Chiefs is Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco are not, they're just not it. Pacheco looked really good, and then injuries. Kind of after all the injuries, he's not looked very great. They just can't get the run game going. Mahomes was really carrying that team with his legs. I think that's why he ended up getting hurt, actually. It's because their run game was so bad. If they had somebody like Jeremiah Love this year to just, run the ball, and really use that as something to run some play action off, I don't think Mahomes would have got hurt because he wouldn't have had to use his legs so much. But this is pretty obvious. Jeremiah Love's great. And it'll also help whoever the backup is. If Mahomes isn't there next year at the beginning of the year, hey, you can go in and run the ball a ton with Jeremiah Love and probably be successful while doing it. You're going to have your healthy O-line next year, hopefully. This year's been a roller coaster with that. But, Jeremiah Love is your guy. If he's here for the Chiefs, you have to take him. Dallas Cowboys. Now, this is a tough one. I am super lost on what they're going to do here. I don't know if they keep Kenneth, the linebacker. He's a free agent. Do they bring him back? I'm not sure. Corner, you got Bland. You got Darren Bland. I don't think you're moving. You just extended him. I think Trayvon Diggs is probably going to be gone. This isn't corner. This is edge or linebacker for me. Now, the big thing is, who is it? I personally think David Bailey is the best on the board. Now, what the Cowboys need, though, is pass rush. They really need pass rush after losing Micah. Now, what do the Cowboys want? Do they want a better overall edge at everything? Or do they want the pure pass rusher, right? Now, Sonny Styles is really good as well. I think this is edge. I think, Donovan Ezra-Q, you have Jadeveon Clowney on the other side. He is so old. Oh, this is hard for me. I really like David Bailey, but, man, Cassius Howell. If you want a Micah Parsons replacement, that's him. That's the best speed rusher in the class. That's what Micah was. He's going to have really short arms. But, man, you see a lot of Chop Robinson in his game with the bend and the speed off the line. I'm not going to lie, I'd love it if the Cowboys brought him in. Baltimore Ravens. Now, this... it says guard or D-line. I don't really know what exactly they're planning to do here. I would like Mekhi Lemon. If Zay Flowers wasn't there, they're just both really small, slot guys, so that's not going to work. Corner's not a need. In my opinion, wide receiver is the biggest need for this team. It can say guard and D-line all at once. Like, Lamar, I keep seeing stuff saying Lamar might leave this offseason. The dude keeps getting hurt. He needs to start standing in the pocket more and not getting hit, not getting rolled up on and stuff, save his legs. And the only way he's going to do that is if he has some more receiving work. D-Hop really is, is that their wide receiver too, bro? He's so old. Denzel Boston's huge. He's a contested catch guy. He's a deep threat. You pair him up with some, intermediate guy like Zay Flowers in the slot, I think that's going to work very well. I don't know if Ravens fans will like this. I hope they like this because if they want Lamar to stay on their team, they need to go get him some weapons. Now, Minnesota Vikings, this, obviously you would have loved for this to be Jeremiah Love. Need a running back really bad, especially with the young quarterback you're trying to develop, McCarthy. I think he still has a lot of potential. We can't give up on him. O-line could use a little bit of help, but really I think DB is probably the biggest need here. And I think this is just a perfect opportunity for them to go Jermon McCoy. I think he is the best corner in this class. Like I said earlier, the ACL tear is scary. But, you take a shot, dude. He's been resting. He could have played this year, and he sat out because he's rehabbing 100% so he can be ready for the combine. Is he a super fast corner? No, he's probably going to run in the 4.5s. He's probably going to run like a 4.55. I hope he doesn't run a 4.6 because he might not go here. But off the film alone, this guy is a stud. This guy is a corner one. This guy could be a top 5 corner in football eventually, But this is what we're doing. I hope Brian Flores is there next year. I think he's going to be. I don't think he's ever going to get a head coach job again after what happened with Miami. But that's your Mama McCoy. Tampa Bay Bucks. This is probably the easiest pick yet. Go get some more edge help. This is also BPA. David Bailey's like one of my favorite guys in the class. I hate this for my Panthers. Tampa getting him, This is a perfect fit. You pair him with Yaya Diaby and Cansey. Man, that D-line with Vita Vea on that's an amazing D-line. That's going to help that young secondary. They have Parrish. I like Benjamin Morrison. I think this defense could be absolutely insane with David Bailey. Now, obviously, Sonny Styles is intriguing because Levante David's on the way out. They could do that, I wouldn't be mad. I think that would be a great pick. I think David Bailey is better than Sonny Styles. This guy, David Bailey, is a stud. Let's look. Look, 93. He has 14. This guy has 14 sacks. Go watch him. He's a monster. And that's who I'm picking for the Bucs. Now, Detroit, I kind of get mixed up with them. I don't really know what their absolute biggest need is. Obviously, you would like to pair edge with Hutchinson. Do they need corner that bad? I mean, I thought they were pretty hurt this year there. D-line, I think they still have Reeder. He's old. He's on his way out. I personally think that this is probably either Keldrick Falk, stopping the run. He's going to stop the run. Keldrick has the upside. He's like a better Mikael Williams. I think his tape looks way better than Mikael Williams. He's huge. He's 6'6", 285. This guy is huge. I mean, he could play interior a lot, and he would be really good. I think that's what they need on that defense. Now, obviously, I don't really see a lot of corners. Avion Terrell is really good. I like Brandon Sissy, however you say his name. I wouldn't be mad at those picks. But for the Lions, I'd love to pair Keldrick Falk in with Aiden Hutchinson. Don't pay attention to the overall grades here. This guy's an upside guy, and I think that this is a defense that has done a really good job, taking projects and getting them better. I think Keldrick Falk could be really good on this team, and that's who I'm going to take. Now, New York Jets. Here we go. Who do we take? Took Dante Moore, obviously. Okay, now this is where I said, what did I say earlier? You have multiple picks. You've had terrible luck with quarterbacks in the past. I hate to say, fuck the defense. Let's build around Dante Moore. Make sure this guy has studs. Don't give him a rookie roster like Bryce Young and Cam Ward. Let's not do that. Obviously Garrett Wilson is great. Breece Hall is great. This is pretty simple for me. Obviously you could use Sonny Styles. Listen to me. Forget about the defense right now. That's my opinion. And make sure your rookie quarterback has some weapons. We're going to go with Mekhi. We're going to pair up Mekhi Lemon with Garrett Wilson. Let's do it. I think that would be awesome for Dante Moore, man. My Panthers here. I'd love it if Sonny. This is the easiest pick out. We have the worst bottom three linebacker cores in football. Love Sonny. Great athlete. Doesn't miss tackles this year. Last year, before the year I seen, he struggled the year before this year with tackles, but this year he's been amazing. Has a lot of good senses in coverage. C.J. Allen would also be somebody for the Panthers if they wanted to trade back. I like C.J. He's shown some flashes in coverage too. I think that's what the Panthers need. They run a crazy amount of zone. They need somebody who's really good in zone coverage specifically. I think Sonny Styles could be that. He used to play safety. I think this is a match made in heaven for the Panthers. I hope this happens. If it doesn't, obviously trade back. Maybe there's an edge here. So as of right now, though, we're going to take Sonny Styles. Pittsburgh. Here we go with Pittsburgh. Now, this is a spot where could trade back on draft night. I think it's pretty obvious, though. There's no wide receiver that you want to take. I'm not taking the DB here. I'm not taking a quarterback, obviously. This is pretty obviously Francis Marigoa. I mean, if you're the Steelers, you have to be so happy that he fell here. This guy is a stud. And, their tackles aren't very great, obviously. So that's what we're going to do is Francis Marigoa right here for the Steelers. Dallas is back on the board here after taking Cassius Howell. this could be a pretty interesting pick, you know. Probably need a linebacker. That's who I'm probably going to take as linebacker. And just like I said, C.J. Allen, I think, fits the Cowboys defense absolutely perfectly. This guy is a stud. Pretty sure he was All-American. Ton of tackles. Pretty damn good in coverage. He hits pretty hard. I think this is a match made in heaven for the Cowboys, too. You know, like, this is the type of draft that transforms your defense. Getting Cassius Howell and getting C.J. Allen, man, that defense is going to be amazing next year. Now, here we go with the Eagles. I still think this team is probably the most talented roster in football. Jalen Hurts in that offense, I think they're probably going to lose A.J. Brown this offseason, which isn't good. Definitely not taking a wide receiver here. Not going O-line. This is pretty obviously like, you know, you would like edge maybe, but I think with Goddard probably not being on that team next year, you want to run the ball, you want to establish a run, you have Kenyon Sadiq right here. Take Kenyon Sadiq. Let's help Hurts out. The defense is okay. You got Vic Fangio. The talent on that side of the ball is good enough. You don't need to go like right now. You have to help out your quarterback and you have to help out Saquon. And when you put somebody like Kenyon Sadiq out there who's 6'3", he's basically another wide receiver, and he's probably like one of the best blockers on the field. Like, this guy is really good at blocking, like really good in run blocking. Saquon and Jalen Hurts is gonna love this guy, and that's just a perfect fit for me. I mean, just the easiest pick ever. That O-line's terrible. O-line is absolutely atrocious. Help your guy CJ out and get a guard. I hate being this short. We've talked a lot for other teams, but it's pretty self-explanatory. You need a guard. You need some type of O-line. This is the best available. We're taking them. Now, Buffalo. This gets interesting, too, here. You know, you need help wide receiver-wise. There's some studs here. Caleb Banks is high upside guy. Caden McDonald's going to stop the run. Avion Terrell, you don't really need a corner after taking Maxwell Harrison last year. TJ Parker's pretty good. Could be good on the other side too. But I think we got to help our quarterback here. I think this edge class is good enough to where you could get one if you need one later on. But Casey Concepcion, I think he's going to help him Josh out a ton. Keon Coleman's basically a bust. This dude he hasn't even played. Barely. Like, dude's getting healthy scratched every week, missing, like, meetings and stuff. This is pretty easily a wide receiver. Who's your favorite one? I really like Ian Strong. I don't think he's better than Casey Concepcion. I think Jeremy Bernard, Chris Bell's hurt. This is easily, I think Casey is easily the best wide receiver on the board here. And with somebody like Josh, who's going to sling that damn thing, you know, you could probably develop him pretty nicely. Los Angeles Chargers. Okay, here we go. Now, I keep seeing people like mention O-line and stuff for them. They're dealing with a ton of injuries. I think that O-line's not that bad. Hopefully they get a center in free agency because Bozeman is not good. But Slater and Joe Alt being hurt all year, that's crazy. Obviously, you could use D-line. I swear I thought they had, what's his name? They had that. Oh, my God. I thought they had Puna Ford. Maybe he went to the Rams or something. Yeah, I think he did, which sucks. But, you know, Dante Jackson to your corner one, I think you're going to lose. What's his name? God, I don't even know. That tall guy, very tall corner. He's pretty young. I think you need to boost the defense here. I think the wide receiver room, you know, you've seen flashes from Quentin Johnston. He's looked pretty damn good. And Ladd McConkey's great. I think this team's going to be way better next year healthy with the tackles. They're their most important thing on offense outside of Herbert. But I think they need a corner, you know. I think Avion Terrell could come in here and be really good. You could have Dante Jackson, Avion Terrell, and Derwin James in that secondary. That's a scary secondary. Now, obviously, you want to edge. But like I've said, guess what? This edge class is so deep. Look at this. Let's go check out these edge guys. All the way down to Mateo. Like, Mateo's great. Zion Young's good, but he keeps getting in trouble. Like, I think the drop-off is after Mateo, But I think Mateo is going to be, he very well could be there next round, easily. Or you could trade up. Like this, Joshua Joseph, he's not in the draft. But this is what I'm saying, though. Like, Mateo is great. TJ would be a really good pick here. I think I'm going to go corner here. I think they need corner help. And this defense is already top 5. But I certainly am not very nervous about the offense. I think they're just injury riddled. So we're going to go Evian Terrell. Now, San Francisco is a different story. You know, it says they need edge. They don't need edge. They have Mikael Williams and Nick Bosa. They did lose Hufanga, which sucks. They really should have tried to retain him. Could use O-line, maybe. Oh, this is pretty rough because I don't think these wide receivers are really, like, I don't think it's worth getting. But you're losing Ayuk. You need help. It's this is trade down territory for me. Because guess what? You got to have somebody here. You have Ricky Pearsall, can't stay healthy. Yeah, Kittle and C-Mac, I mean, still going to carry. But you really need a receiver here. And I think Elijah Sarah is probably who I'm going to go for them. I think they have to, especially with them losing IU. O-line solid. Outside of everything else, you need a wide receiver bad. The defense is, you're going to get back Warner next year. You're going to get back your edges. Your corners are pretty solid. You could use a safety, but I'm not a fan of taking safety here. Elijah Sarah, it's pretty easily. That's a good pick for me. All right, so we got Jordan Tyson. This is going to be a tackle. This is going to be Caden Proctor or Caleb Lomu. And we're going to take Caden Proctor. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. The O-line sucks. Let's go get some help after getting your quarterback a wide receiver. Now, whoever your quarterback is going to be is also going to have a stud tackle. This is the pick I've been waiting for. You got quarterback. You need corner. This is corner for me. Could be Lomu. But, man, God, with Brennan Sissy here, I think this guy is going to run amazing at the combine. He's just so good deep in coverage on manned up on wide receivers. This guy is a stud. I love Brennan Sissy. His film just talks to you, man. Just go watch it. This is a pretty easy pick for me. This would be awesome for the Rams. Chicago Bears. Now, I do think they're going to lose a safety. You obviously could maybe look at that, AJ Halsey, you got Dylan Thieneman. Those guys are studs. I kind of like the idea, I think they need D-line, interior D-line. And what do you want? Do you want the high upside guy who shows flashes of being very disruptive in the pass game, pretty good against or do you want the guy that's really good against the run, And I think the Bears need to play it safe. I don't think that they're a team that needs to try to swing big on a prospect. I think that they're 13-win team. Stay conservative and get a guy that's going to come in straight away and help, that you don't have to worry about developing. He's going to come in straight away and stop the run for you, and that's what Caden McDonald's going to do. And here we are for the Patriots. And, man, I don't think that their edge is going to come back. Clason or whatever, he's popped off this year. I think he's going to get pretty good money. Obviously, you could bring him back. Should you? I don't think so. It's been a one-year wonder for him. I think this is pretty easily edge. Now, you have to ask yourself, what do you want from your edge? As a Patriots fan, do you want a high upside guy that, high upside, I'd say, or majority run stoppers? They're pretty disruptive. They're pass like TJ Parker. He's a dog, good against the run. Pass game is just is he gonna rush the passer that great? I don't know. He doesn't really have the bend, doesn't really have the finesse. He's got some power. Romelo's really good against rushing the passer. This guy is a stud. He's got speed. He's got bend. But he's going to struggle against the run. I think Vrabel's guy is T.J. Parker here, I think Vrabel is going to love T.J. Parker. This is a really good fit for me. With Harold Landry on the other side, this would be awesome for the Patriots. Broncos. Now, this one gets me a lot of the time, honestly. This one, it kind of confuses me. This could be a trade back. I mean, you have to ask yourself, what the fuck does this team need? This team's stacked. Could use a wide receiver. There's not one good enough to take here. Could use a tight end. Not good enough to take here. That's why I'd say trade back. Maybe could use a linebacker with Drake Greenlaw, you know. I don't think there's anybody. I think we're just going to have to really try to take kind of something random right here with no trade backs. Your interior D-line's really good. Your edges are really good. I mean, this to me needs to be a trade back when it comes draft day. Don't need a corner, obviously. Don't need a safety, obviously. I kind of want to take, let's see. I mean, Ian Strong would be good, but, man, you need some speed, man. Troy Franklin's not that quick. Courtland Sutton's old. You know, okay, this is what we're going to do. Chris Bell, you know, I know he tore his ACL. This guy's a stud. I think this is what they need here. Take a swing on a guy coming off an injury who probably should have already went way before this. This is kind of like a Will Johnson thing where he should have went way ahead of what he's going this year, but because of injuries, it's kind of you should have took the swing on Will Johnson last year instead of Jahdae Barron. Should have took the swing. So let's take a swing on Chris Bell this year. Let's do it. All right, and the last pick of this draft is pretty easy to me. We're going to take O-line, just best O-line available. This O-line's been rough, man. Get Sam Darnold. I mean, when you have Njigba, it's pretty easily, like, you can kind of override a bad O-line with a receiver that good, but let's just give Sam Darnold some more time and see what he can do over there, man. Like, what a quarterback he can be. When he's on, he's on. So that's what we're going to do, is take Caleb Lohman. And that right there is this is my first one posted. That's my first round mock full. We're going to have a couple of these. Obviously, I'm probably going to do some separate teams on not on PFF because I only have one a day, but we'll do some teams probably 2-round mocks. But I really like that first round mock. I think a lot of teams got way better with this, and a lot of teams also still have a shit ton of holes. Like my Panthers, you get one linebacker, man, you still need another linebacker, another safety, another edge, you know, probably another wide receiver because Leggett sucks. Now, I do want to go over and say I think the biggest winner of this class would probably be the Cowboys. This would take the Cowboys to a whole nother level with Cassius and C.J. Allen. Cassius is going to really transform the pass rush. Other than that, I think another team that benefited a lot, Jets. I'd say Jets probably, man. Jets got a lot of picks. You know, I think that team's going to be good. And the Browns, too. I think they're building, they would build really good for their quarterback, whoever it's going to be, with the tackle and Jordan Tyson, who's a stud. But, yeah, there y'all go.